Namaste and good evening to all of you, my friends, my students, yoga teachers, and all the people, those who are watching today the live. And the topic for today, we discuss about asana. How was your day today? Even if you are not a yoga practitioner, you will find this topic is very interesting, as in our country, in Hindu culture, we have a lot of myths, a lot of stories, and it's very secrets, mantras, chantings, many things in yoga as you learn. But today we just focus on asana. Let me ask you some question, and you can reply by yourself. If you practice yoga, usually outside India, the yoga is mostly taken as a posture, asana, and maybe you practice few breathing techniques in classes, but mostly the yoga outside India is taken as a asana practice. So whenever you go to your center or you practice with any teacher, they teach you many postures, many asanas, and different asanas for different purpose. But the question is, do you know the name of asanas you practice? Do you know the benefits of postures that you practice? Do you know the history of that posture that you practice? And if you don't know, then please ask your teacher. They will tell you. And when you know all these things about the postures, asanas, you will feel a deepened awareness in your practice. Whenever you go to practice and you know about the benefits of the posture, you know the name of the posture, it will deepen your awareness and it will deepen your practice as well. Each drop of classes, each one classes, is a single drop of health you're bringing to your body, to your mind, and to your spirit. So this is very interesting to know about the asanas. And in future, I'll also discuss about different asanas. Today we discuss about Ashtavakrasana, 8-folded limb posture. Before I discuss about that specific posture, let me tell you, the postures names are given in a very different ways. Some of the postures names are taken from the nature, like tree pose, Vrikshasana. Some of the postures, they are taken from the universe, like Chandrasana, the moon pose, sun salutation, Surya Namaskara. So some of the postures, they are taken as of their advantages. Some of the postures, they are dedicated to some great saint in the history of yoga, history of India. Some of the postures are given name according to their benefits, according to their shape, and there are different ways to give the name of the postures. But if you know that what is the tree pose, why it's given name of the tree pose, Vrikshasana, then when you practice this pose, you have a different dimension of awareness. Like when you try the tree pose, actually it's a basic balancing pose. And when you try the tree pose, it means that you are deeply grounded. You feel you are deeply grounded. Then your willpower, your concentration level, and you're training your mind to hold the balance as a tree. Even the typhoon comes, very soon coming in Taiwan. Tomorrow one of the typhoon is there. So even storm comes, the tree, solid tree, it stays there. It means that when you do the pose, the bundle of thoughts disturbing your mind, it won't disturb your balance, your posture, and as you feel you're deeply grounded. So this is a kind of training of the mind when you do the tree pose. So every posture has a different reason to giving the names. So next time, I guess when you go to the yoga class, some of the postures, you ask the teacher that what is the name of this pose and why it has been given. Whoever watching this live telecast in Bangkok or in Vietnam, the teachers, students, in my Hong Kong students or in Taiwan students, anywhere, you can ask your teacher will guide you. So today we talk about Ashtavakrasana. Ashta means 8 in Sanskrit. Vakra means curved, folded. So Ashtavakrasana means 8 folded limb pose. If you see, the posture looks quite different. Ashtavakra is the name of a great saint, a legend saint in India. It's many thousand years before. I'm talking about the Treta Yuga. We have 4 yugas: Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and now we are living in Kali Yuga. So it was, if we go back to Treta Yuga, that time, if you learn about history or holy books in India, there is a very holy book, Ramayana, and it's Lord Rama. So in that period of time, Ashtavakra was a great saint, enlightened person. Long before, when Ashtavakra was in the womb of the mother, his father, Koila, he was also a very great, knowledgeable person. So he usually recite the Vedas, chantings to the mother so the boy can listen and gain knowledge. So Ashtavakra, in the womb, he started gaining the knowledge in the mother's body. And every time when he recite any Vedas, any knowledge, and this boy receives this knowledge. One time he was reciting the chanting of Rigu Vedas, and he did some mistake. In that time, Ashtavakra, in the womb, he just say or make a little bit cunning smile, you can say like this. Then his father got angry and he cannot control his anger. So he cursed him to have 8 folded limbs. His limbs is folded from the ankle, legs, arms, chest, shoulders. So his body was curved from the different parts, 8 different parts. This is the philosophy that in Hindu culture we say that do not disobey the elders or your parents. So this is the lesson of this story. Then when Ashtavakra took a birth, in a very young age, he was a great knowledgeable person. but his body was folded with 8 parts of the body, so he couldn't live a normal life as his friends playing. He couldn't play with them. So in the childhood he suffered a lot with this curse. But he was a very knowledgeable person. Slowly, when he was getting more older, in the young teenage, still he was teenage. That time, there was a king called Janaka. Janaka was the father of Sita and father-in-law of Lord Rama. That Janaka was a great king, and he also pursued the process of spirituality. He wanted to know how to become enlightened. So he always finished his job, day-to-day job, his courtyard, his kingdom, all this job as fast as possible, and sit with the scholars in his court to discuss how to become enlightened, what is the best way. Many scholars of many sects, they have their own different opinions. So he created a debate between the scholars, and whoever win that debate, he gave them a lot of money or in a high post in his kingdom as a scholar. So many people want to come to the debate, the knowledgeable people, and they debate about the dharma, about the enlightenment, about the spirituality, about to know the self, so about meditation. So king is really want to know, very passionate to know the knowledge, how to become enlightened. So day by day passed, he always used to organize this kind of debate. One time he organized such a debate, and he also invited his father, Koila. Then his father went to the debate, and Ashtavakrasana accompanied him. In that debate, when everybody was debating, Ashtavakrasana stood up and said that all you are talking is nonsense, is empty, is nothing related to know the self. And there were a lot of knowledgeable, highly regarded scholar was there, and he is just like a young boy with the 8 folded limbs, looked very peculiar. Then Raja Janaka said, he saw him and he said, you need to tell us this knowledge, or else you won't have this 8 curved body as well. Then he said, Ashtavakrasana said, if you want to know this knowledge, really want to become enlightened, you have to follow one condition. The king said, I'll follow your condition. When the king said, I follow the condition, it means you really mean it. Then Ashtavakrasana said to him, whatever I say to you, you have to follow exactly without asking a single question. Janaka agreed. Then he said to Janaka, the king, I live in forest. You come to the forest any day, find me, and then I'll let you know the knowledge of enlightenment. After a few days, Raja, the king, Janaka, when he got some free time, he went towards the forest. When the king used to go, they are followed by the king, followed by their ministers, their bodyguards, their soldiers. So they started going deep into the forest. As they go deeper into the forest, the king lost the way and lost all his ministers and the bodyguards, and he went deep into the forest. So he wanted to find the way out from that because he lost. So he's just trying to find out the way out. At the same time, he saw Ashtavakrasana sitting under this tree. Then he was riding his horse, went closer to Ashtavakrasana, and then he just wanted to get down from the horse. His one leg on one stripe of the horse, and the other leg he just lifted up in the air. The moment Ashtavakrasana said, "Stop there," and king stopped there in a very uncomfortable position with one leg on the horse and one leg in the air. How long he stay on this pose, it's debatable. Maybe some people say he stays there for many years, some people say it's just for a moment, for a while. But as if you feel, a moment can be a very long period of time. And a long period of time can just be a moment. So, when Raja Janaka, the King Janaka, in that position, he got enlightened. When he got enlightened, he just come down and bow down to the feet of Ashtavakrasana and ask him, now he is enlightened, he don't need kingdom, he don't need anything, he just want to spend all of his life under his guru, Ashtavakrasana, under his teacher. He felt amazing, a moment, joyful moments, each and every moment. But Ashtavakrasana said that no, you are a king and your people need an enlightened king. So you go back and do your duties and also go through the process of enlightenment of the other people, other students. Then Janaka went back and started doing his duties, and he was the great king who became enlightened. Usually in India, many big kings, they just give away their kingdom and go away as a beggar to find the self, to find the spirituality, to find their own self, to become enlightened. But this one is the first king who became the enlightened king for the people of his kingdom. So his kingdom was said, it was a very nice kingdom and it has never happened in this earth. So the days going on like this, he also invited a lot of people for discourses, and sometimes he liked to go to Ashtavakrasana's ashram to talk with him. Ashtavakrasana, since he is enlightened, he has an ashram in the forest. Many monks also follow him and want to become enlightened. So many monks stay in the ashram as well. Whenever Raja, King Janaka went to see him, they are very close and talk together. They are very happy, they lighten up when they see each other. But the other monks, they never understand why Ashtavakrasana give him so much value and so much as comparison to the monks. The monks think that we have renounced our home, our whole life, everything, and come here as a monk. But how come he is a king? He wears so much ornaments, his dress is very different, he is living in the palace. Why Ashtavakra love him so much? Ashtavakra, he know these kind of feelings spreading through the monks. So he set up something that he want to teach the monks. So one day he was giving a discourse in a big hall with the monks and King Janaka also there. Suddenly one soldier of king, he came inside screaming, and he bowed down to king, and he said to the king that your palace is on fire. So many humans, they are running away here and there, and your property is destroyed. So you should immediately come with me to help us to protect things. He scolded this soldier, the king. He said, first, how you dare to bow down to me, not to my teacher? And if this is so important discourse, my kingdom, my palace is not so important than this discourse. That was an example. The monks see that he is really dedicated and enlightened. The other day, the Ashtavakra set up another story. So another day, when he was giving a discourse, one of the person from the ashram, he came and just screamed that all the monkeys, they are taking away your clothes, tearing up your clothes and everything. Then hurry up. And all the monks, they just stood up without noticing that what his teacher is saying. Then they stood up and then ran away to see their clothes. But they saw the clothes were there, drying up. No monkeys there and nothing happened. Then they understand what Ashtavakra wanted to test them. Then they came back with their head down to the hall and apologized to Ashtavakra, their teacher. Then Ashtavakra said, the king has his own palace, his own property, huge. He don't value them. But you have only one or two clothes. That too, if you throw it, nobody will want to use. And you run away for these clothes. So you didn't renounce everything. You still have attachment. And this attachment is a hindrance, is an obstacle to the process of your enlightenment. So this was the Ashtavakra. He was a great saint. Once his father was defeated in the discourse, and then he went another time and he also defeated that person who defeated his father. So his father take away his curse from the 8-limbed goat. So Ashtavakra, I think very less people know that there is an Ashtavakra Gita. Many people know that we have a Gita, Bhagavad Gita by Lord Krishna. But the thousand and thousand years before, Ashtavakra wrote the Ashtavakra Gita. And it's really, really, if you study that, if you just listen his teachings, it's really very impressive, and it's given the speech by the really enlightened person. If you have some time, try to find out Ashtavakra Gita. Nowadays we have internet and so many things. You can just type and search. If you can find Ashtavakra Gita in English, I think you should study and see how really your personality is going to change, how really your thinking process is going to change, and how your personality, how your spirituality grows. So, Ashtavakrasana was dedicated to that saint, Ashtavakra. We have many asanas named that was dedicated to the great saint like Vasishthasana, Vishwamitrasana, like God Hanumanasana, the monkey pose. Then we have Ardha Matsendrasana. He was the greatest saint in the 10th century. So we have a name of that asana, the half spinal twist posture on Matsendrasana, Ardha Matsendrasana. So we have a great really story and history of yoga, and sometime next in future I'll also talk about these all other saints, the story that postures the name have. So there is a great history of some of the postures name, and I hope you like the story Ashtavakrasana. So next time we will also talk about other postures name story. If you have any questions, you can ask me, I'll reply you, and don't feel shy to ask questions. If you ask questions, that means you doesn't know. And if you doesn't know, you will know. But if you don't ask questions, you will never know. So yoga is not only the asana part. Yoga as a whole is a complete process of lifting your soul, lifting your spirituality to the dimension, higher dimensions, and free from the birth and death process. So always in our other traditions also, in Bhakti Yoga, you take any kind of yoga streams. All the streams have the only one objective, to know yourself. So this is kind of a process. It may go through many births if you start a journey. But if you start the journey, at one day, at some day, you will be enlightened or you reach to that higher level. If you never started your journey, you will never reach, shorter or sooner or later. So start your journey and you will see you have a different prospect of seeing the life and the people nearby you. The animals, the nature, everything you see, it's going to be a very different perspective. So don't take yoga as a practice of asana only. Take yoga to bring yourself to the higher level, to unite your body, mind, breath and soul. So if you know yourself, Ashtavakra said, knowing self is the most important thing. Suppose, imagine that this universe, the supreme consciousness, is a sea, is an ocean, and we are the drop of the ocean. So if you touch yourself, if you taste that drop of the ocean, you will know the whole ocean. That drop of the ocean has the same quality of the whole ocean. So if you want to know the ocean, know the drop of the ocean in yourself. So this is, even Ashtanga Yoga has a procedure from the Yama to the Samadhi to reach there. There is a procedure. Any other streams of yoga, everything, or any other streams in existing world, they all teach the same thing. Start a journey towards you. Start an inner journey. Thank you to listening today. I hope you'll have a good night, have a good sleep. And next time we'll meet with some other name of the posture, history of the posture. Take care, stay fit, stay healthy. Thank you from Master Nilesh, Ayush Yoga. And if you are from Taiwan, please come and visit our center, Ayush Yoga, Oxygen Yoga. I'll be very glad to see you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Namaste.